This 2014 Jaguar is 150 grand and is quicker than an XJ220. 11 years on, we need to talk about the XKR-S GT. Jaguar's special vehicle operations decided to make the most extreme XK possible. First there was the standard XK, then the XKR, then the XKR-S, but the GT was the ultimate XK. Some people saw it simply as a brand building exercise, as at the time the F-Type was replacing this car. So while old Grandad's XK was heading out the door, they decided to give it a massive kick up the arse. And here it is. So this was a product from the boys and girls at SVO. Think F-Pace SVR, F-Type SVR, Project 7, Project A. They were a super talented bunch of engineers. I imagine some of them are still at JLR building stuff like the Defender Octa. So what are the big money items that make this thing stand out from a normal RS? Well, this chunky carbon fibre front splitter, these jutting carbon fibre front canards, and this massive carbon fibre rear wing. All of this stuff has been bonded onto the car. It's a normal XK underneath, and if you look, it's basically all just been glued on. Looks cool though. If that isn't enough, another way to spot a GT is these louvers on the bonnet. Instead of these supercharged slits either side, you've got these. Lovely. Very Morgan. The Jaguar F-Type is actually based on a shortened X150 chassis, and there are rumours that this platform, the GT, was used as a testbed for a lot of the stuff that the F-Type then brought to the table. For example, the rear axle was brand spankers for an XK, the front suspension was completely changed, which allowed for more front camber, the steering rack is much faster, and then there's the biggie that allowed this thing to accomplish its seriously quick lap times. These were the first carbon ceramic brakes ever fitted to a Jaguar from factory, and that massively increased this car's braking performance and its longevity. These puppies would not fade on a track day. They also reduced the Jag's unsprung mass by 21 kilograms. That's a decent chunk. The 5-litre supercharged V8 is bomb-proof as long as you keep on top of your timing chain checks. But maybe surprisingly, it's not got any more power than a normal XKRS, 542 brake horsepower. JLR took this engine all the way to 592 in the Project 8, but they decided not to go for it with this one. Something tells me though, when we take it out there, this thing ain't gonna be slow. Before we hit the road in the GT, as a Jag man, I'm often arguing with people, which is the more desirable XK, the X100 or the X150? Let's ask the guys and girls here at Swallows what they think. X100 or X150?
X150.
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 3-0.
Neither.
X150.
X150.
X150. X150.
X100.
I knew it.
150. 150.
150, Ian Callum, all day.
Whoa! Duke, X100 or X150? I think that was X150. I did wonder, with this being more race car, whether you'd be able to hear the supercharger more, but no. Like every other XK product, and F-Type to be fair, it is dominated by that V8 sound out the back. The exhaust completely dominates any form of intake or supercharger noise up front. It's good. I like it a lot. It would be quite easy to look at this car and think it's probably going to be rock solid, stiff as hell. It is. It's definitely much stiffer than a normal XKR, but you can tell the SVO engineers put a lot of effort into the suspension setup of this car. Although there's not much suspension travel, the Jag is doing a lot with that small travel. It's stiff, but it's not crashy. It does track car, fast road car, in a very Jag way. Keeps the car hunkered down to the road, but takes the bumps really nicely, like it has to do in the UK. Having driven numerous F-types, this car feels a bit more stable, a bit less manic than one of them, because it's got that longer wheelbase. Also having a bit less power than the F-Type Rs, especially the SVRs right up the top. And when you think about it, this is top spec XK. You've really got to compare against the F-Type SVR. I guess that thing's got all-wheel drive, so it's going to put the power down a bit better. But in terms of feel going down the road, this feels like a much more stable car, much more drivable. It's one of these cars that gets better and better the faster you drive it. It settles further and further down into the road the faster you go. This is a proper car. Only 40 odd of these things were made at a price of 135 grand, although if you want one nowadays, you're talking north of that. These things are kicking around 150 grand plus now. Doing my research for this video, so many journalists back in the day compared this thing to a 911 GT3, and to me, they got it completely wrong. This thing isn't one of those. It's a muscle car that's been track prepped. I see it much more as Jaguar's Viper ACR or Camaro ZL1. If they were to make something like this nowadays, I'd want them to be aiming at something like the Mustang GTD. I've driven one of those recently, and my God, if they could put their minds to it and build something like that car, it would get Jag right back to where they should be. The XKR-S GT then was not Jag's 911 GT3. In fact, it was 10 seconds slower around the Nordschleife. They instead opted to keep all the Jagness inside it. But this car could go to your favourite local road or your local track, set one hell of a lap time, but then you could get back in it and enjoy everything that makes a Jag on the way home. If you wanted to go full track extreme, stripped out, zero compromise, you could buy one of these for about 100 grand off. We'll maybe look at these in a future video. What special JLR product would you like to see on the Swallows Racing channel next? Tell us in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.